With all the stress surrounding the current quarantine and news cycle, I've needed something that I can just mindlessly watch. Something that really fills that void for me has been the TLC reality show My Strange Addiction. The show follows various people as they explain their various addictions to either the grotesque or the disturbing, or some mixture of both. I find myself often repulsed and appalled by some of these addictions, and even outright refuse to watch some of them if the title sounds too disturbing for me, like the eating used diapers episode. But despite all this, I still get some weird form of pleasure from watching this show, and find myself binging episode after episode, and I know a lot of other people feel the same way. So, why exactly are we all addicted to My Strange Addiction? Well, first, I think a lot of the fun comes from the commentating and rationalizing we do as we watch. It makes us think about why someone would even want to drink paint or eat air freshener. Why would someone want to look like a doll or put all these rings around their neck? I could have hours and hours of mindless discussion with friends over this show because it seems like everyone has opinions about it, and everyone wants to play armchair psychologist. Personally, I think shows like this tap into some grotesque and morbid curiosity we all have in the darkest part of our psyches, and maybe it makes us wonder if this could ever happen to us. The show doesn't always go into how or why these people get addicted to their addictions, but they often loosely allude to some kind of trauma the person experienced that caused it. But usually the show steers away from providing any kind of meaningful insight or help, and is more than happy to just show the person demonstrating their addiction to the tune of quirky music. I mean, seriously, just watch this and tell me that the song fits.
I'm sorry.
That also brings me to some of the more sinister reasons we enjoy this show so much. It's basically the modern day version of what are known as freak shows. You see, in the 16th century until around the 19th century, people would host events called freak shows in various places such as museums and circuses, where they would essentially exhibit people with disabilities or birth defects for profit. The attendees would laugh and stare at these people, and the producers and managers made an entire spectacle out of these events with flashy advertisements and elaborate displays. Of course, freak shows eventually fell out of fashion as people realized it was abhorrent to jeer at people that were simply different from them, and the fact that skeevy businessmen were exploiting the most vulnerable people for profit was pretty messed up. But it makes me wonder, are we, the audience, that much better for gawking at these people with genuine addiction issues simply for our own entertainment? See, I also think a large part of the reason that people enjoy this show is simply to feel better about themselves. They see people that are labeled as strange and clearly struggle to fit into society, and it makes viewers feel better about their own lives by comparison. It's really easy to get trapped in this cycle too, since the shows are so bingeable, and you can gawk at person after person while forgetting about the problems in your own life. Because after all, isn't there something in each of our lives that we are quote-unquote addicted to that we may be ashamed of? Many of us may shop too much and accrue a lot of debt. We may be way too into some specific hobby or some other thing that we play down or joke about, even though we secretly know it's probably bad for us. People can't choose their addictions, and laughing at or judging these people on My Strange Addiction ultimately debases and dehumanizes them. These people are more than their addictions, but the way the show is framed makes it easy to think of them only in terms of their addiction. In reality, their addictions are only one part of them that they want to overcome, so they can eventually self-actualize. So, does that mean My Strange Addiction is a bad show or you should feel bad about watching it? Well, no, not necessarily. I think one can still watch this show and enjoy it, but I think it's important to remember that these are real people, and they do not exist only for your amusement. Addiction is a very real disease, and just because someone is addicted to something that is quirky, weird, or any other term, doesn't mean that person doesn't need help. Every once in a while, the show will try to get these people to go to therapy or visit a doctor, or flash some kind of screen that shows that they're free from their addiction. But their struggle is a lifelong battle that cannot be condensed into a 20-minute reality show. And just like freak shows, when you stop labeling people as freaks, it becomes much easier to humanize them and become part of the solution, instead of being a bystander. And who knows, you might even learn something about yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was my first time doing a TV show analysis, so if you'd like to see some more TV analysis, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.